Welcome into another Cash or Trash. Today I'm reviewing putters and mid-ranges from Goliath Discs.
Welcome to Cash or Trash. In this series, Isaac gives his review of a disc and tells you whether he thinks it's cash or trash. Let's get into it.
So the putters and mids that I'm going to be reviewing from Goliath Discs today are first, the Genesis, which is a straight putter. I have one in a base plastic and another one in a premium plastic. And the next one I have is the Goliath Discs Pillar. The flight numbers are 3204. So it is a overstable approach disc. It feels a lot like a zone, maybe slightly deeper than a zone. Next, I have the Jireh. I have a base plastic feeling one and a premium plastic. The flight numbers of this one are 55, -1, 1. So this is going to be a straight mid-range. The last mid-range we have is the Goliath Discs Redemption. This one is also a straight to stable mid-range. I think it's going to be a little more stable than the Jireh, but we're out here in the field and we're going to throw all of these on a lot of different angles and we're going to see whether these discs are cash or trash. So first off, we're going to start with the Genesis. I'm just going to throw my stock backhand, which is normally on a slight bit of hyzer. I'm going to go with the base plastic one first. Wow. Okay, that I expected it to almost flip up and go flat there, but it held that hyzer the whole time. I'm gonna throw the same type of shot. I'm just gonna put some more power on it. Holding that hyzer. Pretty stable putters, it seems like. Next, we have the Pillar. This is a overstable approach disc. So I know that if I throw it on hyzer, it's just gonna hold that hyzer. So I'm gonna show you guys how overstable this Pillar is. I'm gonna put on some anhyzer. Well, you guys saw how fast that flexed out of that anhyzer. That thing is crazy overstable. Next we have the Jireh. It seems like it's gonna be a straight mid. We're gonna go with the base plastic one first. Very straight, very straight. Now let's see how the premium plastic one does. Yep. Now I also gave that more height than the base plastic one, but very straight mid. Next we have the Redemption, and I expect this to be a little more stable than the Jireh. So let's see if that's true. I'm gonna put on a little bit of hyzer. Very, very straight also, but you could tell at the end that I wanted to get left, unlike the Jireh where the Jireh just kind of floated straight and landed flat. But that one at the end, it kind of had a left turn to it. Now we're gonna see how these discs hold up to an anhyzer, and we do have a headwind here. So that's gonna make it even more understable. First, starting with the base plastic Genesis. Yeah, that did not hold up to that headwind at all. I wouldn't expect a straight putter to hold up to a headwind, especially on an anhyzer angle. So now we're gonna see if the base plastic or the premium plastic does. All right, that held up much, much better than the base plastic one. So now we're gonna move on to the Jireh. Base plastic one on anhyzer. Yeah, look at that nice drift. That had a nice drift right, and it started to fade even a little bit. That was a beautiful flight, especially into a headwind. I'm surprised it held up that good. Now we're gonna see how the premium one does. The wind did pick up a little bit on that throw, but that one definitely did not hold up to the wind as well as the base plastic. But I'd say it's because the wind picked up. Now we have the Pillar, and I'm pretty confident this isn't gonna have any problem at all holding up to this wind. That thing is so stable. Redemption. I expect this one to hold up a little bit better than the Jireh did. Slow drift with a little fade at the end. Now that we've seen these discs on hyzer and anhyzer on backhand, we're gonna see how they fly on forehands. We're gonna start with the Genesis. The Genesis is a disc that I probably would never throw on forehand, but let's try it out. Wow, that was really good. Yeah, the premium plastic. Very nice. That one came out on a little bit of anhyzer and it kind of drifted with it and then faded back. So the Genesis has enough stability to it where it can hold up the forehand. That was surprising. All right, now we got the pillar for forehand. I'm excited to throw this one. I'm just gonna chop it over on a bunch of anhyzer just so you guys can see one more time how overstable this thing is. That thing's crazy. We got the Jireh here. Very nice also. Premium plastic Jireh. Little Annie with a little fade. Again, I thought that one would not be good for forehand. Now this Redemption, on the other hand, this thing is flat. It feels like a Badger. If you've ever felt a Badger, feels good on forehand, so. Yep, dead straight. Now that thing feels good on forehand. So after seeing all of these discs on a backhand hyzer, a backhand anhyzer, and on forehand, I'm gonna give the putters and mids from Goliath Discs a cash. These things honestly really surprised me. Starting with the Genesis. This is a straight putter, and honestly, it has a lot more stability than I thought it would. It held up to forehand, which is really good. And I threw it on a side hyzer on backhand, and it held that hyzer. Very good throwing putter. Next, we have the pillar. You guys heard me say it throughout the entire video. This thing is crazy overstable. Very zone feeling, but way more overstable than a zone. Very good overstable approach. The Jireh. This is a very straight mid. It's basically a longer version of the Genesis, I would say. And with this base plastic one, you can beat this into probably a very nice hyzer flip mid. And the Redemption for backhand, I would say it's a little more stable than the Jireh. It had a little more left at the end of the flight. And for forehand, this thing feels really good on forehand. It's nice and flat, and it's not as deep as the Jireh, so it's really nice for my liking. This thing is nice. So that is my review of all the putters and mids from Goliath Discs. Thanks for watching.